The year is 1996. People are completely blown away by the show floors of E3 as Nintendo announces the great drink coaster known as the Nintendo 64. Everybody was shocked. A console that could play 3D video games? That was crazy at the time. And the perfect way to celebrate it was also to have a Mario game playable on the system, as usual. And that Mario game was Super Mario 64. Mario could be moved around in the Z-axis now. That was insane. You could go from Cool Mountain to shifting sandland and every place in between. Over the years, we would get a few more Mario games like this, each one, of course, being solid 3D platformers. These are some people's favorite games to play. It really seemed like Mario was heading in the right direction. But then, well, this thing happened. Super Mario Galaxy and Super Mario Galaxy 2. These were definitely good games, don't get me wrong, but they were very different from the other 3D Marios. They opted for a different level design. Instead of wide open areas where you return to the same place multiple times to complete certain objectives, you were instead going through linear stages, Crash Bandicoot style, and simply getting to the end. Kind of like a 2D Mario game, but in 3D. And this was emphasized even more with Super Mario 3D Land on the 3DS, and finally, Super Mario 3D World on the Wii U.
I don't see all too many people really talking about this game that much in the past few years, but I remember I got this for Christmas in 2013 when I was about 6 years old, and I've always really enjoyed it. And I also got it in one of those bundles that came with the Wii U, this game, and Nintendo Land, and I decided to play this one before Nintendo Land. Don't ask me why, but I think the real reason I have so much more memories with this game instead of Nintendo Land is because it was really the first game I ever played. And so, hey everybody, it's me again, Bawk Hersheysman, but you probably knew that already. And with the start of... With the start of a brand new video style, let's take a look at a brand new game, Super Mario 3D World for the Wii U.
And here's the title screen. It looks fairly nice, the music's good. It's a bit like Super Mario Bros. 3's title screen. The story's pretty self-explanatory. Mario and Luigi, the princess, and Blue Toad... No, not Toad, but Blue Toad. Yeah, that's a little strange. You'd think it would just be Toad, but no, now instead they're going for a Super Mario Bros. 2 approach, as Blue Toad was present, but Toad isn't. Well, then I guess we're just gonna have to call him Buck and Barry, like in the new Super Mario Bros. Games. Anyway, Mario, Luigi, the princess, and Buck and Barry are scrolling around outside Peach's castle when they see a glass pipe tilted in the sand road they're walking on. Mario and Luigi, for the first time ever probably, actually fix the pipe like plumbers such as them are supposed to do. Seriously, why is it that this is practically the only time we see them do their occupation? Then a bunch of power-ups fly out of the pipe for no apparent reason whatsoever. It's like the game's taunting at you and saying,
Hey moron, here's all the power-ups that you can't get until you watch this unskippable cutscene.
Finally, a member of the Sprixie Kingdom shows up from the pipe. This place is where the pipe leads to, and generic green Sprixie Kingdom Fairy over here describes how Bowser has shown up and been capturing all the rest of the berries in bottles. Suddenly, right on cue, Bowser shows up and puts her in another one of his bottles. He gets back down the pipe somehow, and Rio and company decide to go after him because, honestly, who knows why. I love how Luigi slaps his face to reality for a second before going through the pipe. It's a really nice touch. Then again, maybe it's more out of frustration, like, oh no, Mario, not again! This then transitions into the hub world, or world map, or level selection screen, or whatever you want to call it. Back in 3D Land, it was really boring. Just one straight line from left to right without any split paths. Here, it's a very similar hub to Kirby Star Allies with Yoshi's Woolly World. There is a set path and whatnot, with a line and everything, but it's presented at a different camera angle, and you can stray away from it to do other things on the map, like collect coins and find hidden one-ups, and yeah, okay, there isn't much of a point of having a non-linear hub world if there's not much to do besides being linear. They could have had just Mario and crew follow the line with a push of a joystick without any free range, and it wouldn't hurt the game at all. However, notice how I said Mario and crew. That's right, you can now play as all of the different characters from the intro cutscene. Again, like Mario Bros. 2, that's so weird. They even have all the same attributes as in Mario Bros. 2. Luigi jumps high, but he runs really slow. Peach can hover in the air for a short time. Buck and Barry runs the fastest, but jump kinda sucks. And Mario's useless. No, seriously, why would you ever play as Mario unless you have to, because there's 4 of you and you're playing multiplayer? He has no special moves.
But hey, on the bright side, this transitions perfectly into probably the biggest selling point of this game, the co-op mode. Well, okay, the biggest selling point of this game, like, second only to maybe the cat suit. Seriously, like, take a look at any kind of promotional art that you see for this game. The cat suit is going to appear 9 times out of 10.
Look at it! Look at it! Look at it! Look at it! I want all of you to look at it!
It's actually a lot of fun, and it's the same kind of feeling when multiplayer was introduced in New Super Mario Bros. Wii.
Except now, you can screw your friends over in 3D!
Sure, it can be a little annoying when things get troublesome for you and whoever you're playing with, but it's only here and there, and it's just generally a really fun time. Like I said earlier, me and my friends would have a blast when we used to play it 6 years ago, and the same was true now. Oh yeah, and all this, I kind of forgot to talk about what you're actually doing in Super Mario 3D World. Sort of a key component, I think. The level structure is pretty much the same as in 3D Land. In fact, you'd probably say this game is just 3D Land, but now in HD and with multiplayer and a few other additions. Well, those things and the cat suit.
Look at it! Look at it! Look at it! Look at it! I want all of you to look at it!
There are individual levels in 8 worlds spread across the game. Every world has roughly 8 levels, as well as a few extra levels with specific gimmicks in them that can get repeated as time goes on. These can be things like enemy gauntlets, full-on boss fights, levels with WarioWare-style challenges, stages that play like the other mainline Mario game on the Wii U, Captain Toad Treasure Tracker, weird slot machine things, and power-up houses like the ones in Mario Bros. 3. Although, of course, the regular levels are obviously the main meat of the game. Arguably, the most standout thing about Mario 3D World is its level design. Like I said earlier, it's basically the same as in 3D Land, except with more zoomed-out camera angle. Even though I definitely prefer the level structure from the first few 3D Marios, I like myself some linear 3D level design just fine, especially since this game might have the best and most cleverly thought-out ones of the entire franchise. Every level is unique. This is one of those games where you could show me a level and I could be all, oh yeah, that's the level of those blocks that phase in and out of existence depending on the beat of the music, or, oh yeah, that's the level that someone inspired off of Super Mario Kart, or even, oh yeah, that's the levels where you have to use those gamepad's touchscreen to move around the platforms.
And not only that, each level also looks visually distinct as well. Most Mario games usually have their obligatory grass levels, obligatory desert levels, obligatory water levels. That's not the case with Mario 3D World, that's for sure.
I mean, Mario 3D World has these types of levels, but it's only for really the first level of each world. Most of the other levels are completely different to the theme of the worlds they're in. Like an autumn level where you're riding a mechanism on a cliffside, a water level with vines and grass where you're riding a wannabe Yoshi, a carnival level with those color-scheme blocks in Wario Galaxy games, and many, many more. Seriously, it's crazy. At no point in the game do I ever think this thing in this level is pretty much the same thing and that other level I played. You know what else really adds to these levels? The power-ups and other abilities you gain. There's the regular mushroom, the fire flower slash fire bro suit, the boomerang flower slash boomerang bro suit, the super leaf slash tanuki suit, and hey, the super ball slash cat suit. I can't believe it took so long to finally get to this one.
I want all of you to look at it!
And this is sort of the main gimmick of the game. You can attack enemies with a claw swipe by pressing B, you can do this really cool dive by pressing B in the air while moving, and then there's probably the most dynamic and useful move, the climb. Yes, you can now climb to pretty much any flat surface along the wall by just jumping onto it and then moving in any direction you're climbing. Additionally, the game also features a wide range of other power-ups that I like to distinguish the others, simply because these ones you either can't hold on to permanently or can't bring out of a level. These include the Starman, the Mega Mushroom, which is very underutilized, by the way, the Invincibility Super Leaf, and the Double Cherry, in which you create a clone of yourself that can take a single hit from enemies and solve various puzzles. There are also a few others that are more like unlockable attachments, with are the Cannon Box, the Propeller Box, and the Karibo Skate. Oh man, is the Karibo Skate just so much fun! I remember just skating around the ice levels, not even getting anything done. It's strangely addicting. So overall, not a bad selection of power-ups, but not good either. But hey, at least they're helpful in the boss fights. Have I even mentioned the boss fights yet? Surprisingly, they're really intuitive and a lot of fun to play. Sure, some of them are just boom boom and Han from Mario 3D Land, which, yeah, but other than them, they're all really varied.
However, I still haven't discussed what's probably the biggest issue that I have with this game. It plays it safe a lot.
If I would use one word to describe the big flaw that Super Mario 3D World suffers from, it would be simplicity. It feels just like 3D Land, or New Super Mario Bros., or some of the more forgettable parts of Get Mario Galaxy 1 and 2. Feel confused? Well, let me put it this way. Look at this game and another favorite Mario game of mine, let's see here, side by side, and tell me which one stands out more. You see what I mean? What game do you think looks more interesting and pops out more than the other one? Well, no, stop that.
Now, that's something I really don't like about this game. To put it simply, it doesn't really take any risks. However, here's something that I really do like about this game.
Oh my god. The music. Seriously, if there's one thing people praise this game for, it's the soundtrack. Koji Kondo, you are a mastermind. The music is composed with that lovely orchestral feel from the games like Mario Galaxy and sort of mixes them up for spectacular jazz. It incorporates your everyday saxophones, tubas, trombones, horns, and light drumming, the works. And you know how much I enjoy wacky instruments like those. There will also be the occasional drum roll, clarinet, or flute piece. This is a good diversion from the usual soundtrack, which is good, and the tunes in general are just good to listen to.
This is, without a doubt, one of the most surprisingly good game soundtracks I have ever heard of. I mean, it's not like Bomberman Hero levels of really great, but really, what is it? Correct answer, Bomberman Hero.
Alright, here's where we get all spoilery. To unlock the final boss fight of the game, freeing all the fairies, you need a majority of the green stars in the levels. You'll need them to progress through a lot of different points in the game, actually. The final level will have you challenging Bowser once again. This time not in his car, though.
No, man, the fight that follows. You have to climb Bowser up this skyscraper with all these lights and signs up it, and there are enemies to try and stop you, and you have to basically go through a giant platforming segment, which is a lot of fun. And past all this, I don't think I'll forget the very first time I ever played this level. It was 2014 on Halloween night. Me and my friends were trying over and over and over again to finally beat the game. We were stuck on this one level, and then we finally did beat it, and I swear to God, this is probably one of my proudest gaming moments.
And so, Bowser defeated, he gets sent flying away, credits. However, that isn't really the end. If you come back to World 1 on that same save file, you can now access a few new worlds through the means of a rocket ship. No idea how or why it's there, but it is. Deal with it. It's nothing too special, really. It's just a handful of the levels from the main campaign, but remixed a bit to make them harder.
There is this super difficult final level at the end of these secret worlds, which has been a staple for Mario games ever since Super Mario Galaxy 2, but I've never been able to actually play it because unlocking it is just so tedious. You have to get every green star, every stamp, and touch the top of the flagpole for every single level. And to do that for a level that isn't even that fun to play in the first place, yeah, I'll pass. Thank you. I mean, hey, that's not entirely true. If you also beat every single level as each of the playable characters, you get 5 glittering stars on your save file. Seriously, why would you ever go for this? So yeah, that's Super Mario 3D World. Way better game than I remember it being. I actually really appreciate it now. I think after all these years, this is still a pretty solid experience. I've seen a lot of people online that say that this is one of their favorite mainline Mario games, and yeah, I definitely put it up there too, but like at number 9 or 8 or somewhere on the lower tier. But of course, it does have to have some credit for being the first game I ever really played. Although now that I think about it, saying that out loud, it feels like I got the short end of the stick. Not to mention, I have so many fond memories playing this game over the years that I could never call it a bad Mario game or anything like that. So, if you end up finding this game for a cheap price, so you're planning to get the Switch re-release that's supposed to come out today, then I recommend that you go get it. Just go into it not expecting it to be on the same kind of caliber as Super Mario 64, Sunshine, or 64 EX. Is it too late to change my mind?